Butse. Inmo. Diava. Wakar. Mada udidimada bulshada.
This one's impressed to see you out here. He figured you'd be dead by now. Not many are as tough and clever as you must be.
Tarinman.
Says he's a monster haunter. The best you'll ever see. Moog says that all your power doesn't do you a bit of good if you're not willing to pull the trigger when the time comes. Choosing what to kill and what to spare are the most important decisions you'll make. You might have a steady aim, but you need to be sure that you pick your targets with care. It's hard to make those life or death decisions for others, but someone's got to do it. Otherwise, they'll do it themselves, and you know they'll miss. When it comes to monsters, he mostly picks who dies. Says it's wild that the world seems to be coming back, but he supposes that means more monsters for him to shoot. Wonders why you work so hard to keep things alive. Bullets help thin the herd instead. Says you should give up on working with the stubborn myriad. He keeps trying to put out their lights and they keep putting up new ones. Says they keep the monsters away. He needs them closer, not farther. But enough of that, right? He says the wildlife, nature, has changed and turned against us. Instincts of survival took over when the world changed. He's not sure about their veggie diet anymore, and if it's changed, who knows what it's done with the chemical composition of their body output. Right now, though, he feels he's come to a point where he's got a pretty clear idea on the whereabouts of monsters, both tall and short. Says as big as they are, the world is bigger. To find where they are, you need to see where they've been. Moog says you must learn to walk before you can run. It takes practice before you can call yourself a monster hunter. Fortunately for you, he can help. He understands you need to start off with something small before you go big. There's no better place to start than a squip cave. Hunting down a couple of these little critters for yourself should keep you on your toes. Says it's not far at all. Fortunately for you, the squips seem to have acclimatized themselves to the otherwise uninhabitable dead zone. Let's see. Hard to see the forest when you're in the trees. Wait, it's the squip hole-up. Place is just filled with critters. Dead on. Locked solid. These steel legs were made for walking. A hero has to stand on its own. Once the volatilization from the nuclear waste evaporated, a volatile gas rose through the soil and infested structures, even Toxanol's own buildings. So, in a way, they caused their own death. Oh, idea. Go knock the lid off that sludge truck. It'll fill the place up and you can get up to that entrance there. A crit. There's no time to look back. Too busy moving on. You need to line up the switches so they match. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. For when you want to put all your strength into it. Stay away from that biohazard. You'll want to wash yourself off for a month. Mount up. Be sure to buckle your safety harness. Back to sneaking around. He says that's enough scripts to sustain the Mekton's claw crane cannon with infinite ammunition. Well done. It's not his cleanest invention so far, but it gets the job done. Use it to suck up gooey oil puddles in the Mekton's way so you can pass. Gizmo's made vehicles before to confront the Jumbo Puff himself, but failed. But this time, it's different. The Mekton will be strong enough to do the job. It's time to put a stop to the World Eater now. Otherwise, he fears the damage it's caused to the tree already will be too much to handle. He asks you to not even think about taking on the Jumbo Puff on foot. You'll need the Mekton to do the job. Take his word for it. There's time to improve the Mekton before you confront the Puff. There are more wreck boxes out in the dead zone with gear you should be able to equip the Mekton with on your own. He's sure you remember enough of what he taught you about upcycling to fit some skronky gear to the Mekton on your own. Gizmo wants to help if he can. Says talking to you was interesting. It's all about destiny. Yours, mine, the entire world's. That's a gnote. Easy prey for Lupin. For everyone else, they're a perfect mount and easily tamed if they are kept fed. Tandem defeat. The plague that's ruining the land needs to be stopped. Get out of here. As long as karma exists, the world changes, and we change with it. It's a rare sight. Treasure it. Wildlife here is teetering on the brink of extinction. We all are. The meat-eater again. Nothing seems to satiate his hunger. The note is done for unless you intervene. It's a ride, not a friend, right? Best part of this ride is it runs on green stuff. Shop, shop. That's one just over there. Go for it. Heroes make for the best stories. It's up to you if you want to be one. Let's see. You found Bionucleus 8C. These towers are one of the main reasons the old world went under. This area is biocontaminated. It's really hazardous. Dead already. Ready to dive back in. Muscles like steel. Now you're styling. Nothing beats the darkness. Dented that one good. That's a jumbo puff with an appetite. Ain't no fuzz. Better put an end to it before it ends our world. The jumbo puff is kicking it up a notch. It's time for an electric performance. A couple of more hits and it's a fried circuit board. Bad feeling about this. It goes all the way down to the stomach. Gonna keep you down. That's too close to the end station. Better move up and away, or be swept out the bowel way. chorus is pumping at half a beat. You know what to do. Who would have guessed it would go down with a throw-up? Can it really get any better than that? He thanks you for dealing with the first World Eater. It's a start. You should go see Out of Date and find out what you can about the machine he's named the Ark. You're good-hearted enough, so you'll have no problem getting him to share the information with you. He trusts you know where to find Out of Date by now. He's always been at the foot of the tree, and that hasn't changed. Goodbye to another night. Go on, catch it. The dark is almost over. Welcome to Camp Aco. The bandits here won't greet you so kindly. That's gone forevermore. The place they plant dead folks. Hope you don't wind up there soon. Give him a hand. Stories only survive if someone is listening, so pay attention. That's Ranchu, an entire farm poisoned by toxanol rads. Don't stay there long. Check out that day. The yerp fields, where the echo of your actions resounds clearer than any other place you'll find, except for where that's not true. There it is, the tree of life. The idea that all life is related by common descent, where the twigs are existing species and those produced in the past represent the succession of the extinct. The tree's great branches were once budding twigs, a connection between the past, present, and future. A representation of all extinct and living species with its ever-branching and beautiful ramifications. We are an evolution of those that came before. Old brick-bracks like that, sometimes still full of good things. This won't be a field trip. It's the real thing.
Badayan Analove in Mo.
Glad to see you stopped keeping to yourself and are actually helping these days. Understands you have other places you need to go. At least someone wears pants. Lupalupin's camp has always been there, hidden deep inside the mountains. Tread carefully here. This is Looper Lupin's camp. The sky is as bright as it's going to be. Such a dark night. Let's see. It's a place well hidden. It's just below the above. It's quieter here, away from the sky. Out of Date's impressed you made it this far, but there's still so much left to do. The end of the world is still on everyone's minds. You've beaten a path where you have the power to destroy or save everyone. Question is, what you'll do with that responsibility. He can sense that your heart beats steadily and acknowledges that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Thinks it's important that you remember who you are and where you came from. Someone without knowledge of their history and origin is like a tree without roots. It's important to stay grounded. You share the same fate as the tree. Out of Date says there's a time for everything, and now there's no use thinking of the past, for it's gone. Think of the present, because that's where you are. It's time to set your priorities as the one who completes things. If you continue to do good, good will follow you. If the world really does end, there won't be anywhere to run. So he's prepared for the worst, something he calls the Ark. He hopes you're right. He gets that you mean the journey continues either way, but personally he wants the tree to survive. Out of Date says there's no clear record of the chain of events that changed the course of history and brought the world to its knees. He's found evidence on the Ark, records of a crisis, decades of contamination that permeated the ground and broke its inner core. The contamination disrupted what we now know as key energy, the life force that runs through all things, living and inanimate. He's been told the blight affected everything at a genetic level and turned our perception of normality on its head. It was only those that changed that avoided extinction, proving that the possibility for survival and renewal was real. He understands you are curious about the ship at the foot of the tree. He says it surfaced when the oil broke through the ground. The Ark predates the back-in days, and now, after years of study of the manuals he found inside, he believes he's figured the ship out. The Ark has room for 4 more, and he trusts you'll apply wisdom to your compassion and choose whom to save if the world comes to end. He'll keep the seats open, and you are free to invite up to 4 others to join you in the Ark in the event of a cataclysm. Out of Date says that from what he's heard, you've been busy. He says he appreciates what you've done so far, but unfortunately he's got urgent news from his friend Goop in the southeast. Out of Date says that even though he's unsure about your intentions, he hopes you'll support Goop. He says he'll point you in the right direction, but finding Goop and making sure he gets what he needs is up to you. That's the sound of impending doom. Out-of-date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porcupine needs to be handled.